Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Chakra Dance. I'm Natalie Southgate, and today I want to talk a little bit about why I feel it's so important that we each do our own healing work. I just think it is vital, absolutely vital. And of course, it's vital for ourselves. The more that we can go in and heal our own inner wounding, whether that's trauma we've experienced at some point in our lives, whether it's heartbreak that we haven't fully processed, whether it's rejection that nearly destroyed us and we haven't been able to fully let it go, whether it's a shame that we didn't express at the time. You can see as we go through this human journey, we all have experiences that kind of wound us in some way. And in an ideal world, what happens, we at the time process those experiences, those feelings, and we process them, we heal them, we release them, and we grow from them. That's the ideal scenario. But what happens a lot of the time, and this is what leads to all the different illnesses in our lives and all the different disorders that we may end up with, is that we don't fully process these things. They're just overwhelming at the time. They're too big, and rather than process them, deal with them, we block them. Okay, we bury them in our bodies. We put them down into the unconscious so that they become the shadow parts of our psyche. They're stuck in our energy field. They lead to disease in all these different ways. So obviously, it goes without saying, the more that we can do our own inner healing work, and very gently but step by step going through the process, and this is what Chakra Dance is all about, going through the process of starting to actually release and heal these buried parts of us, our lives get better. We become more free. Okay, we're freed up from the past to be here in the now and to do the great things that we want to do in life. Okay, so that's about us. But there's another layer. There's a whole other layer that I think is something that I'd really like to talk about today. It's the point of today's talk. I've gone off on a tangent. Today, I want to talk about when you do your own healing, the impact that has in your community, in your family, in the world. Okay, and I know it can feel like this sort of almost a grandeur thing, isn't it? I can change the world. And of course, we sort of think, how can one person, little old me, make a difference in the world? But, I genuinely believe that as we each do our own healing work, we do actually change the world in some way. And, I just want to reflect on some words from Carl Jung. And you may know that Chakra Dance is a Jungian-based therapy. So it's founded in his philosophies. And Carl Jung, he said that, when you look out into the world, and you look and see all of the horrors, really, all the shadow, all the tragedies, all the wars that are going on, all the violence that's going on, all the harm that's going on, all the fear that's out there. Okay, you're getting my point. I won't keep going on about that. You know what's out there. He believed that that was a mere reflection of the collective unconscious. Okay, just take that in for a moment. That the parts of ourselves collectively that are unhealed. Because not only do we bury and block and cause illness within ourselves when we don't do our healing, the other thing we do with it is we project it out onto others. Okay, this is a big part of understanding what happens when we bury something. It's like we see it in others. We put the hate out onto others. We judge others. We blame others. We put it outside of ourselves because we're too uncomfortable to hold it in ourselves. Well, it's a bit of a psychology lesson in a way. Okay, so the more this is happening, the more this starts to reflect out in the world. Okay, Gandhi famously said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." You must be the change you wish to see in the world. You might think, how does that relate? I don't have these things going on in me, but where are you harming yourself? Where are you having harmful thoughts about yourself? Where's the inner violence going on? In your own thoughts, in your own inner world. Okay, Where's the grief and the shame and the fear within you? This is what needs to be resolved. And what happens is, as we start healing this, we start pulling back these projections that we've been putting out in the world. So think of that energetically. If everyone's projecting all of their stuff out there, as we start pulling it back, not so that we're overwhelmed, you start pulling it back to heal it and process it and transform it. So as you do this, you're pulling back these projections and you're changing the world around you. Your people in your immediate world will feel it instantly because you'll be clearer. You'll have done the work, so you're not putting it on them anymore. Okay, the people in your community, and it ripples all the way out. And this is why it is so vital, I believe, for us each to take responsibility for our own healing. Because it's not just about us. It's about the bigger picture. It's about the world at large. And you've only got to look out in the world to see how much healing is needed. So whether it's through chakra dance, and this is fundamentally what chakra dance is all about. It is about healing all of these parts of us that we have buried and processing them and releasing them from our bodies, from our psyche, from our soul, actually healing them. It's a deep transformative practice. Okay, you don't do it in one day typically. Okay, it's called a practice for a reason. It's gentle, but it's deep. Dance by dance, chakra by chakra, we shine a spotlight into the inner realms of ourselves and process and heal. So whether it's through chakra dance or whether you've found your own way, whatever that may be, or different healing techniques, there's a lot of healing techniques out there. I encourage you, I invite you, I call you to take that next level of responsibility for healing what is wounded within you and make a big difference in the world at the same time. Many blessings.